Fuck! Read the disclaimer. Hello everyone and welcome to the Week in Review, where we recap the previous week and anything extra. We are slightly on time. It's at least better than 5 to 10 minutes of a delay, so I will take that as a win for today. So we got quite a bit to talk about with a lot of the Hasbro news. Also, obviously... wait, hold on. I have to still set this up. Okay, so let me get the shout out of the way, because I did say I was going to read this. A huge thank you to Jordan for the 140... it says 149. Is it the currency? 149. 149. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it for the super. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I read it. By the way, no live next week. That is my birthday, and I need a break. So on that day, you will see 2 videos that day. One is because there's Beyblade news always on the 14th, so hey, lucky me, right? But that will be already pre-recorded, and I'll just do a little bit of editing, but you'll probably see a fun, like a battle video or something that day, like, I don't know, some cross-gen shit, whatever I want to do that day. Yeah, in the meantime, for the Mall of Bays update, because I always have to update this, because this financially supports the channel. So, we pretty much got done with all the UX orders. Yeah, we shipped everything out. We had issues because of like customs importing, but we eventually got through everything. I basically just had to make sure everyone got the orders, so any bays I wanted for me for collection, I obviously made sure the customers get their bays first, because that's what you need to do. So for spares, for competitive, whatever, I'm just hoping nothing breaks, because otherwise I will be in trouble. I will be in trouble for other than maybe Wizard Rod. So we'll be okay. We'll be okay for now. Because dude, these bays, by the way, I'm trying my best to restock for the store, but they are super hard to get. UX is very much popular in demand because we obviously get our supply from Japan. So it's been nuts. It's been nuts. The launch has been actually super crazy. Speaking of which, in terms of the testings, because I'm going through a lot of big project work finishing up these next 2 weeks, I think you maybe only get Drawn Buster, and maybe only the following week do you get Wizard Rod and Hell's Hammer, because the Buster one was really fast to do because it's an attack type, so it's relative for how much work there is. But in terms of, you know, Rod and Hell, the Wizard Rod and Hell's Hammer, those are like a lot longer, and it takes a lot longer to cut and everything, and I don't have time right now. I don't even have time in terms of, like, just personal time. Like, everything has been, like, I have to make sure I get this work done, so obviously education is #1 priority. The testing channel stuff is, like, the side thing. On the main channel, it's like second place, so with due time. However, speaking of the other channel, I will have, I think, another video I have uploaded, but it's only to do the thumbnail. We do have the 2 tournament videos, so you will see the January event and the March event. So if you basically want to see it where, how the meta is like the month after Phoenix Wing and a few months after, you can basically see how the meta kind of aged and all that stuff. Also a big milestone that we finally got this done. I still need to eventually update for UX, which will probably be done, like I said, end of the month. But the Beyblade X database, if you go on the URL, not now, because we're doing the live thing. What is this? Legally, I might have to change that. I'm not sure how the ninjas work on that type of stuff. I actually have to find. I don't even know the URL of my own DB. That's okay. baybxdb.com. In there, you will find the database for how to play Beyblade X. What else is there? The bays themselves, a part system guide, stadiums, equipments, the product list, along with parts weight, everything you need. If you don't understand something, I tried to summarize as best as possible to new players. So if you don't want to, let's say like we do like the hour testings. Okay, I don't have time to watch 1 hour. Can I just read it? Okay, there you go. That's the alternative. But yeah, I have to do Buster, Hammer, Rod, and then after the launcher grips and the string launcher. So yeah, super long project. This started back in like, I mean, my father started this like in June, and obviously I got very depressed from August since he passed, so I didn't have time to work on it, but through a lot of help from Fable, Kyo, Skyshoe, there's credits on the site for that stuff, it was able to get done. So big milestone project, you know, we got it done. Alrighty, next, moving on. Yeah, before we cover the Hasbro stuff, I thought we would kind of throw this out there, but I did want to kind of cover some of the TT release stuff, by the way, and my speculation, if you will, because we're all kind of waiting for any real new information, and these are my assumptions, and I'll cover the chat in one. Who said Spike is S tier? What? Stop it. Alright, but in terms of my predictions for the rest of the month, I suspect Multi should be a UX Knights Bay, and that'll be in May. I expect Queen Manju probably for June, and then after 34, I know it's going to be a little bit surprising. I don't even think we get an actual left. I think we're probably left, you're only going to get maybe season. I don't know. Because the only other way you can have a left Beyblade is if it's in July, because it's a starter. I thought, though, because of how they advertise the Bay time, how they talk about the Bay time shift in the narrative, and because Burn City would be back, I thought it could just be another Phoenix variant, because after that it's like, okay, what do you throw in the random booster? Maybe another floor boss? Maybe? Like, Cat Over? And then after, maybe the other UX stuff can just be like Chrome and Shiguru? And then after, maybe like a third Pendragon member, because like the last random select is just the bottom one before that one. That one is just, that one's remix, but whatever the content is, I have no idea. Okay, actually, there's some other stuff in the chat to actually go through. I'll actually go through this. Crisis says Rod is pretty broken. Yeah, Rod is pretty crazy. If you want a crazy defense combo, Wizard Rod 5, basically stock, except you replace Disc Ball with Hexa. That is that is actual defense. Like, not even like, okay, it's a little bit of skill. That's like, you can launch it and have relatively a good chance. All three of them are very good. Hammer's Blade, meh, but the bits on Hammer, Hexa, honestly, is the biggest highlight, which surprised me even. But I hate scrolling through this. It doesn't let me scroll properly whenever I try to do it. You got a new drawn dagger yet? Yeah, it turns out I've forgotten, when did this come out? November? I forgot I had one spare, but if that one breaks, I am kind of screwed, so I don't want to think about it. I already put the strength for Spike just now. But, well, it is a little bit, like, hyperbole, but in honesty, it's like, whenever we talk about Spike, it's probably, you're just talking about the blade that's carrying it, not, like, the bit itself. Like, the bit is, maybe you could say it's viable, but not competitive. And I'm trying to write things in a competitive sense. I'm thinking about getting into X. Don't know if I want to start that dedication again, but still debating whether it's worth it. I mean, Beyblade in general is a deep investment, right? So that's obviously up to you, but X is very fun for gameplay and that type of stuff. So if you want to see, like, a peak generation where there's still competitive aspects to it, but it's more of this fun, then X is definitely something you'll probably like. So in terms of meta, where does Buster stand? Buster? I don't know where to rank it. I think I just said, well, I did more testings, and I'm still trying to get to that. Like, all of them, I'm still, like, I only know Wizard Rod is definitely at the top, but, like, the other ones I'm still trying to say, like, Buster is very good. Probably my favorite for attack, because it kills Phoenix Wing, and Phoenix Wing was a pain in the ass. Now the new thing is Wizard Rod, but if it kills Phoenix Wing, that's a big thing that eats up decks. That's still pretty good. Wizard's Rod, quick relevance, and the meta is reminding me what happens in bursts when wind and air... Wind and night. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. I have to scroll. I apologize, because when I'm reading the chat, it doesn't let me scroll properly. Do we have the release dates yet? For Hasbro, for Canada, it's August. For America, in June. Yes. That should be the... Well, I mean, technically in the US, I say June, but it's probably May. Which, by the way, and we'll get to that, if anyone's based in America and somehow gets the bays way before me and wants to offer up any avenue and I'll pay for it, I'll take it because I want to review the X stuff and I don't want to wait till August. Where's your channel icon from? This... He designed it. My father designed the thing and worked with the logo. I don't remember how the asset was, but I do remember he's the one who did it. But in terms of if you mean like the meaning or whatever, it's like it's a Beyblade. I personally think Hasbro leaked 2 members of the... Oh, okay. Well, okay. Here's the thing. Well, first of all, it's not anything Hasbro leaked. It's just listings from an internal catalog. Because... there is some truth in what you're saying with what Ricky's saying, basically saying that there's a lot of listings for the names, but I feel that's just like, it's like a 50-50 game, but when you're saying that, it's like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, because don't forget, Team Dream is Queen Monju, the Rex, I don't remember what the Rex guy, and the Pakun, like the Bay Tuber, but Queen is most likely going to have either some Leon variant, or maybe it's a Tiger, which could be that Vice Tiger we saw, but... I don't think you're going to see those exclusives. And the reason why I say this is because those feel recycled and don't feel they would be used for something. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just think very unlikely. I think Buster's a little bit too unbalanced to be better than Phoenix. It's not terrible. Yes. This is something where this gets a little bit tricky because I use attack quite a bit. So... maybe my perspective is swayed to being very biased, so that's why I said A, because before I thought S, but I thought, no, in consistency, you have to probably say A, because low flat Buster, it nukes Phoenix bad. Like, really, really bad. And to me, and there are tricks that kind of launch this stuff, I think I go over in the testing, or, you know, you launch it kind of like this weird angle, whatever, but, like, I think it's, like, the fact that it does, like, I don't know, I think it's just because I'm very well versed. Like for an example, like Shark Edge or Keel Shark, a lot of people didn't like that because the stamina on it's not as good as, let's say, Drawn Sword because it nukes harder, or whatever, something like that. So that is preference, right? I still rate Buster high, but I can acknowledge that the stamina thing it's very hard to tune and whatever. I've been using 160 on it. I know I've seen players do I think 560 in some Aegis stuff, but I'm not too sure. Based on shape, Knight Axe. I thought like Knight Mace, but that's that works out. Hammer is much more consistent attack to... Whoa, that's a little bit of a hot take. I don't know about that one. Dude, I can't even get Hammer to work at all. What are you putting it on? Hammer, we've tried point. I tried it with my good friend NDK Shady. It's only be good on point and if you reverse launch it, because otherwise it's like mid. Like, it's okay, but the way they designed Hammer, where they flatten kind of like these weird areas, you really need it to, like, slam down properly. So you don't necessarily need height even, you just need, like, to launch it reverse, basically. How do you describe... for a flower pattern, right, guys? Or whatever you like to be addressed as. For a flower pattern, you're launching at, like, an angle, right? You have to, like, reverse angle it just to launch it. 960 Rush. I will investigate this another day, if I don't forget. Well, actually, keep in mind, I am testing this against Phoenix stuff too. So even if it could beat a Hell Scythe, like if it can't beat Phoenix, that's what everybody's using. Like there's like a benchmark. So I mean, if it's doing well there, then I don't know. Fair enough. I got to get good then. Oh my God, I forgot to even read this. Thank you to Nova Strike for the $2. Drawn Buster 160 ball is crazy. So like. That's interesting. Some weird stamina. Okay, that sounds about right. I mean, I tried it. I wanted to do Hex... Oh, I can't scroll now. It's not letting me... Damn it. Okay, well... Why didn't... Oh, because it's on the side here. That's why. That's why I haven't been able to do it. Okay. I'm just trying to figure this out. I think Beyblade in general should focus on making new Beyblades over remaking... Well... Are you talking about variants? Oh no, I agree. Variants should stop for Persona, for the love of God. Even Season 2, like, for God's sake. We have, like, they'll get away with it this season, but next season, I don't want any Busters. I don't want any Drawns, Hells, Wizards, or Knights. None of them. Please, it's enough. Like, even in Bakuten Shoots, like, Bakuten Shoots the only time you can defend, like, after that's gotta be, oh, damn it. Because in Bakuten Shoots, they had the original one, S, then F series, and that was 3 of them for each of them. And then after the next season, V-Force, it was 2, it's been 2 each. Oh. That's gonna be, yeah, well... But but if they go on for, like, let's say 7 years, surely they can't, like, how many variants would we have at that point? Like, how many weapons of swords can you do, right? So that's why I'm thinking there's not enough. They gotta, like, limit it. I can see Buster acting like a single layer Excalibur. Yeah, it's basically just a hard nuke critical. If you get it right, it does crazy. And some weird endgame. Excited for Hasbro giving us early access to Cobalt Tree. Dude, that rumor is so funny, dude, because that ended up not happening at all, and I was like, bruh, come on. I hope they do it, though, but you'll probably only see it, like, the reason why you probably don't even see Drake for Hasbro right now is probably because if the bays are the same as Takara, they probably wanted to make a good distance between when that rare bay is released for TT and when Hasbro adapts it, so otherwise... Because if there's an easy way to get, like, something, you don't have to do this gotcha gamble, they're not going to like that. That's what they call Hammer for a reason. It did actually hit me... Actually, I'll give a fun story while I switch visuals before we get to the other topics. When I was doing it with MDK, the testings, Hammer flew out of the stadium, and it hit my... I think my leg... I had terrible luck. I did Drawn Buster testing with my mom, and Wizard Rod just, like, punctured my stomach. And with MDK, it hit my leg twice. But the thing is, with Hammer, it actually did the gimmick on my leg, and it really hurt. I was in a lot of pain. It's not really... It's kind of funny, I guess, but also, like... It's not like a serious injury or anything. It's just more like when you stub your toe or something. But yeah, that was a pain in the ass to deal with. I personally like Hasbro... Oh, we're not even at the Hasbro topic. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I've been stuck on the UX meta talk. I apologize. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Do you still have your MFB base? Yes, my friend, of course. When injury complete... listen. No funny ideas there. No funny ideas there. I'll take one variant of Persona base next season, that's it. Afterwards, yes. I think this is the mentality. Because there's only so many that you can do. There's only so many. Like, unironically, I want to give a challenge to some commenter. On Knight, Wizard, and Drawn and Hell, go try to list as many possible variants of weapons for whatever they could have following the naming system, and I guarantee you, you will not be able to. And speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, the off-topic, we are back on the breakdown of what we did this week, because I almost forgot the April Fool's video, and in all the UX reviews. Oh, I want to give a funny story. Yo, so the thing is, I was supposed to get my UX stuff on Monday, but because of the fact that Customs delayed it, I was stuck with the April Fool's video, and I didn't want to get stuck with that video, but... Yeah, the rest of the month is just... The rest of this week has just been UX reviews, whatever. But if you want to see the Monday video, yeah, it's kind of... I think I have to fix the thumbnail after just to be the Quake demonstration. But if you want to see kind of like a 3D print test of essentially close to kind of what the Quake bottom... well, I don't know if it's called Quake, but the Qubit is. That's a pretty entertaining video, actually. But, yeah, that's in Hasbro news. And we're talking about Hasbro news today, so... Oh, my God. We're getting meta. We're getting really meta with me. Oh, yeah, and the battles. Hey, in the battles. We did a lot of battles, actually. Speaking of which... this was the first thing of the poll. I do have a battle for Monday, which I don't know if I'll spoil, but it involves Shadow Wizard Money Game. But no, yeah, definitely let me know in the comments, by the way, because it's Monday's Wizard versus Wizard, for what's the next battle you want to see, because I have a lot of stuff written down, and I know some of the big ones people have been commenting that I think I did write down, but yeah, like Hell's Hammer versus Buster, you know, let me know. Now, whatever is the next one I'm going to be doing, is basically battles and marathons this week. Battles and marathons. Oh, actually, before I get to the Hasbro topic, yo, we're going to sidetrack a little bit, because check this out. Look at this. I made the graphic and everything. Hope y'all enjoy the reference. But if you are Canada-based in the Toronto blading community, so it's like a very narrow, probably, amount of people to be directed to, well, I will be hosting an event April 28th for those who Extreme Dash. If someone gets the pun and gets the reference, you get a gold star. You get a gold star. Not an actual physical one, but I will give you the gold star. Maybe. Okay, and speaking of which, there you go. I had to leave the live there, so I want to make sure we have everything set up. I don't get the reference. Well, Final Fantasy VII. That was the reference. That was the Final Fantasy VII poster. But the Buster, so Buster Sword. Let's. Okay, I'll stop. Okay. Speaking of which, actually, okay, something super, super big, actually. If you are coming to Canada in the month of the end of May, dude, Anime North 2024, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Anime North is the biggest event we host here in Toronto. We have 3 lovely events, each for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so one event per day. And if you are curious about this, I will leave links in the pinned comment afterwards, but there will be a sign-up where you make sure, please, because there's going to be a challenge set up. You have to sign up via challenge. So challenge is like this bracket system we basically have. So if you go on the event page, which it should be set up probably after the stream, whatever, or I'll do a pinned comment, make sure if you're going to be attending Anime North this year, sign up through the challenge. We have an amazing... Dude, look at the first event. Beyblade X Tag Team Tournament. Listen, you and a friend or a bunch of friends in a team-style battle. It's something exciting that Beyblade X has been kind of pushing towards. It's going to be super, super fun. I believe it's 2 people based on the team. You can read more about it on the actual thread. I will be obviously there for all 3 days. You'll get to meet me if you want. If you don't want to meet me, you get the event. So it's a win-win. So it's a win-win either way. I also will be cosplaying for those days, for the Friday and the Saturday. I don't know if I'll spoil what it is, but I'm still getting the resources. But yes. And following that, look at this. We got the Beyblade X standard event. Dude, this one's going to be packed, right? The Friday is the way that it is, but listen. This standard event, dude, it's going to be packed. A lot of the top bladers from Canada, and probably other bladers who are coming in. Look at that. It's going to be nuts. And not only that, I know what you're thinking. Beyblade X. I don't give a shit about Beyblade X. What about the old gen? Well, my friend, look at this. The Sunday event. The Sunday event. Metal Fight Beyblade, baby. Look at that. Metal Fight. If you like Metal Fight Beyblade, dude, Anime North, 3 days, 3 stellar events. There's going to be awesome prizes set up. Dude, there's going to be intense battles. I will leave... check out the events page. I don't know if they have the challenge set up yet. It'll probably be after this live stream. But please, if you're going to be attending this year, if you're going to sign up through the event, make sure you sign up on the challenge as well. I'm going to be stressing this quite a bit. But it's going to be super, super fun this year. This is the only thing I'm looking forward to this year other than my birthday. And I don't know. That's about it. Okay, so moving on. Oh, shoot, I didn't even read this. My bad. From Meme Joy, I think they need to focus on making the new Beyblades feel different. All the evolutions are cool, but all the X-Bays feel like the same Beyblade. Well, the performance, in fairness, they all do vary quite a bit. Like, Lance and Shield are different uses completely. Like, if Lance was, they gave some different motif name, it would be a different performance. Like, I think it's just because it's just what the motif is attached to that... It's like that feeling, but even Drawn Daggers do the same thing as Drawn Sword. Drawn Busters do the same thing as the other two. All of the variants are actually like different performance, even the bits-wise. I do get the feeling, but if they just gave like a different motif on the thing, it would still be the same in regards, like they are unique. But I do get the idea of just like, I'd like to see new stuff, for sure. Okay, how do you, and thank you for the $10. Funny, I'm gonna cosplay as Bird. If I do that, I lose the events. I don't even know if I want to play it. If I do that, if I'm cosplaying as Bird, I lose. I'll lose. We can't do that, I'm sorry. And plus, Common X you can cosplay as him, for an example. Or Common X, you have Cool Multi, it's possible, because those aren't too hard to find. Bird, it's too hard to find the wig and everything and all that stuff, so I don't know. But, okay, speaking of now, the main event. Where are we? We're here. Well, I'm here. Okay, Hasbro stuff. We get to talk about that. We're going to basically go through a lot of the discussion. I forgot to get myself water, so I'm going to be doing a segue where I grab water, and you're going to hear a little bit of ASMR, unfortunately. Will you review the bucket? Well, okay, obviously we have to review everything. When are you going to become Common Z? Common Z. That's a little bit too clever. That's a little bit too clever. It's a little bit too clever. Okay. Speaking of which, in terms of the exclusive stuff, oh wait. Oh, I keep forgetting. I keep psyching myself out on the head. I did talk about this in the thing, so I'll kind of just re-summarize. Okay, essentially how I review a lot of this Hasbro stuff for the exclusives. All the exclusives that we are in the void. All the exclusives that we are getting are technically not recycled, because recycled doesn't make sense to say. Modified bases, essentially. I said it as a joke, for an example, like in fighting games, you have like the Echo Fighter, where they're like, it's different, but they have like similar attributes, right? But for an example, with like Tusk Mammoth, it is essentially they reused the Hell Scythe plastic and they modified the molding of the metal. And all the exclusives are in this same trend of that. So in terms of kind of my thoughts on it, the reason why they're doing this is not some kind of I read one comment, whatever, and I got dumbfounded by it, but when they're reusing this, it's just because it's cheap, okay? It is easier to just reuse the same plastic as something else, slightly modify the main metal design, than to make a new entire mold that's very, very different. So it makes sense to do it like this. So in terms of that, now you have the situation where it's essentially... oh, sorry. I got a question. Is Drawn Dagger stronger than Mammoth? I don't know. You essentially have this situation where if they clone a good blade and they just make it like slightly modified, whatever, then it's more or less going to be likely that it's going to be the same in performance. If they clone a shitty blade and it's the same shitty performance, that's probably going to suck. So you're either going to hope that they clone something good, or they clone something but they try to modify the design to make it better than the original. So that's the only kind of way you can kind of look at it, because otherwise it's really not that special. I mean, Hasbro's done stuff like this before, so it's not too surprising. No, but, I mean, in the Dual Layers exclusive, you had Orpheus, Tyros, Diomede, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Hyris, I probably said Tyros, but those were definitely different from a lot of Dual Layer stuff. I do agree that definitely some of the other ones are kind of close, but I think to only a certain extent. I don't think it's too much asking for a little bit of variation in shape. Not to say these things don't have variations in shapes. All of them do, some more than others, but I would love, you know what I mean, like a super, super original. Like, it's fine the way it is, but yeah, I'm pretty neutral of it. How sure are we that Hasbro's making TT clones not just going to be... Oh, well, actually, Barramundi did, because I've been hammering them for it, they did a, what do you call it, Durometer test. And the hardness, in the video, more or less it's the same, so no Pro Series plastic, so that's nice. So if you already collect TT stuff, you get TT, basically you just get the releases ahead of time. If for whatever reason something breaks, you can just get Hasbro as replacement, so that's like the difference. That's basically what you get. Well, let's cover some of the others. So for an example, like Tusk Mammoth, on the topic of, I'm sorry for deviating quite a bit, like that, we probably know it's going to be good because Hell Scythe was good, so we can make that assumption. I mean, I do like some of the designs on this, but yeah, the stadium. Oh, this stadium is such an important thing to mention this because this does not get talked about properly, and I feel a lot of this gets lost. So if you saw my Beyblade Burst video behind the scenes on the Turbo era, when they're talking about the Slingshot Stadium, the reason why the stadiums are modified or certain dimensions is the restrictions that they get from, like, Hasbro. Like, so the Beyblade team has to basically fit certain dimensions. So you will never see the original X stadium size, because for one, the shelf space it takes in the Western market is not going to work out. And two, they're confined probably to dimensions, so that's why they get really modified. So for an example, for this stadium of like the main one, it's just kind of like this, how much they cut off, but it's still more or less the same. But I want to mention that because it gets really important, and we're going to get later on to the green stadium and my thoughts on it. I had some takes, I'll give a little bit of update thoughts, whatever. We're going to probably skip around a little bit on this. Yeah, the stadium. Okay, here we go. So this one is the Knife Shinobi 2-pack. Also, for the exclusive stuff, because I don't want to keep showing the back of the stuff, because we kind of covered this already in another video. I do like all of the recolored parts on the exclusives. Maybe not on the actual exclusives themselves, but at least separately. You got Knife Shinobi, that's a Rhino Horn clone, or excuse me, Horn Rhino. I say clone, it's not even, you know what I mean. It modified off of the Rhino Bay. And there's the Shark one, so that's pretty neat. Oh, I skipped ahead, I guess. How close are we? There we go, beautiful. It's odd. It's very like, because all these are basically just reused from Zuganic. Modified from Zuganic, I should say. I don't have any hopes for this. I don't know. Does anyone think any particular nice thoughts for this one? Because, like, I don't know how much you can modify it. Because, like, Roundhorn, they tried for defense. You really just use it for attack. So, I don't know. Maybe this gets slightly better for defense or something? I don't know. Maybe slightly better attack? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on that. Like, that one, it's so hard to kind of make any sort of, guess of the means. But also, the colors on that one look like shit. I'm sorry. Pick a color and stay with it. Do you want, like, this dark purple and blue? Okay, keep it consistent. Why pink randomly in the sections? Whatever. Like, okay. Now we're going to skip ahead. Also, they picked the recolor of the shark thing, of the green one from the BX20. Okay, we're going to skip ahead. I gotta get this right. I gotta get the order of this right. Chain Incendio and Arrow Wizard. Okay. Where's the next exclusive? Oh, this one's nice. The 2-pack. I mean, we've talked about it already, but Viper Tail and the BX17 Drawn Sword, that's pretty awesome to see. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really funny, because I remember reading some comment on the video when I was going over, and like, oh, you're too critical of Hasbro, and I literally went through the entire video, literally saying, yo, it's awesome that we got, like, Keel Shark as a booster, or, like, these Bezos as a 2, I don't know. I'll cover that in a moment, or someone can remind me. Someone remind me Hasbro Defenders. That'll be my reminder, in case I lose focus. Yeah, but the Shark booster, okay, here's the next one, Steel Samurai. Okay, we're gonna move a little bit ahead here. No, it's back. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit. There, yeah, no, I was just there. Right there. No, yes, there we go. No, shit. It's not on purpose. Okay, I'm just gonna let this play out. When I let this play out, I'm just gonna pause at the right moment. So we're at Keel Shark right now. We're at Keel Shark. Okay, we're at Keel Shark. We're gonna wait on this because I can't skip around on the video properly. Yeah, Keel Shark, it's nice. You know, you don't have to go through the random booster if you want to replace the original one. That's nice. Okay, Steel Samurai. This is the one where it's modified off of Lion Claw. Okay, perfect. Okay, in terms of that one, like, I don't know, because Lion Claw already, like, Lion Claw, it's awesome because it comes with points in 560, but Lion Claw, once you get on, like, a 50 height, was already very, very tricky. Like, not unless, because it looks like the context of where the hits are on the side, not unless it's somehow better at hitting, because, like, this is the only one I think I maybe think has the best chance. And I may be biased on Katana Muramasa, but this doesn't look like the best one, probably. And realistically, probably like the only one that has a good chance. Like, I don't know. Steel Samurai is the one I'm actually like, that one, it's gotta be. If it's ass, I'll cry. If all of them are bad, I'll be upset. But, you know, it's whatever. Sorry. Oh, that's not good. I misclicked. Okay, where were we? We're here. Okay, up ahead. Oh, yeah, the taper is a nice color, by the way. I don't know, they keep reusing 480, though, and I don't like that. Scythe, Wizard, Rhino. Yeah, just a bunch of the other stuff. Just, we got all the picks for your Sword. Sword again. Okay, and then after the last one, the Talon Pterodactyl. That 380 looks really nice. I like that 380 a lot. It's modified off a Viper Tail, but I don't know. I still don't know that much. Okay, I have to go back. So I realized how I did this order. It's stupid, because I saved the image order. So how I did the order was, I guess I just moved it weird. I guess I moved the Bane. There's 2 images of the boxes. That's why I'm freezing up. And now. Okay, we did it. This is off of Viper. This is off of Viper Tail. The thing is, if you look at the side profile on the box, it looks like they cut off the Fang section. But I'm worried because that's the section that's doing the most work for Viper. And I know they say stamina, but I'm still thinking, like, is this gonna burst bad and die? Because if you cut off that section, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously all the gear chip designs look very nice, though, obviously. But aside from that... Oh yeah, before we get to the stadium stuff... Oh, by the way, I'm still surprised that there's no Phoenix Feather listing. Where are they going to put Phoenix Feather? I still don't know. No, but I want to get into kind of a serious one, because it's going to get into the stadium, which now I'm just going to leave this playing when we're going to get to the stadium. No Battle Pass. Yeah, there's no Battle Pass this generation. There is an app, but that app's going to be similar to the Hasbro Burst app. And if you're going to see any releases, it'll be just normalized, so you don't have to go through the thing of, like, this whole gamba of trying to, like, pull, like, the rare bay. Like, it's really bad. But, yeah, no. But, yeah, okay, back on the main one. We're going to get to the stadium in a second. I have to get to the one where it shows the stadium, but it's like... It's like that weird side thing. I didn't even know that was the section of the thing. But there's the basic stadium, which they always do every generation. You're going to see now. Okay, well... I'm skipping ahead. I almost went into the void there. That little void. Okay. The stadium... Sword Phoenix. Okay, the stadium. Now, there we go. Okay, you see that pocket there? There's 4 pockets, but it has one really fat one. That's the extreme zone. So, I originally thought there was only no extreme zone, but there is. Okay, I want to cover this stadium. I want to cover all the arguments for or against it. So, obviously, the one obvious one is that this stadium is hit by restrictions on the size and the shape and the design of it, which is why I never like the bucket stadiums, because they've never been... Whatever the main gimmick of the thing is, it's usually just a shittier experience. Obviously, the stadium is the cheaper alternative for accessibility. That does not mean, however, if the stadium ends up being shit, that you can just justify that stadium and say, oh, we can't criticize it because it's the accessible option. You can still criticize the accessible option, right? There's just context to it, but something I don't... we'll get to, but... The one thing I want to kind of debunk on, and I had more of a deeper conversation with a bunch of people kind of know a little bit more of the stadiums and that type of stuff. So obviously the stadium has no shroud on it, which at first I was like, that's a little bit, I don't know about that. There's a few ways where you can look at this. One, for starters, obviously it's not like the shroud on TT stadiums prevents every single time a bay goes out. Even in testing videos, I've had it where bays come out. I've had it where bays get hit on the side. There are still a lot of times, definitely, where it does catch it quite a bit. And if let's say that shroud was completely gone, let's say it was just walls, you would definitely see a higher increased amount of the bays flying out. However, for starters, we don't know about the gear ratio of this stadium. So for an example, is this stadium going to have a modified gear ratio for how the bays travel? And that will definitely affect how they do gameplay in it. Will the stadium, for an example, have it where because the space is so confined, they can't build enough speed and impact to do those crazy big jumping hits? That could also be a possibility. I mean, either way, though, I definitely think... I don't know. I still want to obviously try it in hand. So I'll say neutral, but... The stadiums before have not had a good track record, so I'm not too keen on this one. But if it ends up being good and ends up being a good alternative, I'll say in the video it's a good alternative. But yeah, I think, we're getting a little bit too crazy when I see Samuel like going, oh, there's a lawsuit! We're gonna sue TT because of this, or sue Hasbro for this stadium. Listen, okay. I thought it just looks a little bit ass, but we're not gonna go that far. But yes, obviously, again, just to reiterate, accessibility... I understand if it ends up being good, fair play. If it ends up not being good, well. But the one thing I'm wondering is just the durability of the stadium. And that we definitely do have to see. Because if it's molded on the stadium, I feel like it'll melt like butter. I feel like it won't be... I feel like that'll be probably worse than what we actually have for a regular one. So that one I'm curious on if that ends up being true or not. But I do want to kind of address this because... I'm going to find that thing, because that one comment still stuck in my head, and I really want to kind of address this argument, because I feel like this mentality is a bad mentality to have in general, in terms of just how we talk about Hasbro. So, obviously, the big benefit of this generation, Hasbro are doing the base, same as the Takeratomi system, and the material durability is more or less the same. Okay, now, in one regard, you can be like, that's awesome that they're doing it, very happy to see, great for this new generation. But what we're kind of seeing, what I'm starting to see pop up with more, is kind of like too much corporate bootlicking. So what I mean by this is like, oh, you shouldn't criticize Hasbro at all if, let's say, for an example, let's say they do a stadium and it's bad, or they do the exclusives and let's say it performs bad or whatever. Oh, no, you can't criticize that because, oh, this, and this they did right. And I feel it's like, it's good they did everything, they're trying to do everything properly, but that doesn't mean they get the above and beyond credit for that, right? Because essentially they're just doing what they should have been doing since day one of Burst, since day one of the third season of Metal Fight. And I feel we're like hyper-inflating like the credit that is deserved towards Hasbro. And that's why I feel this is getting really kind of like we're pushing it too much to the extent. And the reason why this happened is because I talked about this in the Rise and Downfall video, but it's almost like this idea, I think consumer copium, where it's like because it's their only way to get that type of release, so that way they got to defend it in every way possible. Like, there are pros and cons, and same with Takara Tomy, right? There are pros and cons. If TT does, let's say TT does like a limited release on one part, and Hasbro does multiple re-releases of that part. Okay, that's an L for TT and a W for Hasbro, right? You gotta construct it where you gotta have it make sense, because I feel like it's too much to the extent where people throw the credit towards onto Hasbro in that regard. Like, there's definitely, listen, there's a lot of good shit they're doing this generation, but I feel like the moment someone's hearing criticism, it's like their brain shuts off and they go in like defensive mode, and I have no idea why. Yeah, and even on this, like, never forget. And I'm saying this because it's been the track record that every 2 years for a generation, they do something bad down the line, right? So it's like, I don't want it to happen, but like, at least, like, come on, at least be neutral or something like that. But yeah, that's because, I don't know, I'm going to kind of give an analogy. The way that people kind of defend Hasbro X is kind of like this idea. It's like, it's kind of a weird analogy, but I'll try to do it. Okay. Let's say I sell you a car, but that car only has 2 wheels. Use that car for a couple of years, but now I'm selling you a car with 4 wheels. Well, I finally have a car with 4 wheels. This guy's the best ever. Come on, look at what it did. But I should have given you the car properly to begin with, right? So you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's, yeah, cognitive dissonance. Yep. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And there's nothing wrong with being excited. Listen, the exclusives, it's cool either way. The stadiums, it's neat. All of this experience, it's neat either way. But that's why I'm just saying, it's like, dude, be reasonable, right? Like, if TT does screw-ups, I've done videos criticizing the DB Stadium, criticizing metal drivers, criticizing the driver choice in random boosters in the Burst era, for an example. Like, both are subject to criticism. It's not like both are invincible. But that being said, that stadium, we'll see. We'll definitely see. And the one thing it'll be interesting is seeing how they experiment with stadiums in the future. Like, well, hopefully not like this. I don't want to see any more buckets. But hopefully maybe at least like the size of those stadiums. Because I think there's a Marvel battle set, and I think there's a 25th Annie Stadium. I want to see what they do for that. Because, well, actually, I don't know if it's anniversary, but it says 25 Stadium. But, yeah. I think Hasbro released a cage. Guys, it's not the UFC. What are you talking about? You have no idea how many comments I found where people said, I found people said Hasbro broke contract because of this or that. Oh my god, I forgot to say this as well, but dude, some people don't even understand the relationship of Hasbro and Takara Tomy. Hasbro did not change this generation because TT told them to. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard. Hasbro and TT has had a relationship like this for years upon years. TT influences the Asian market, Hasbro influences the Western market. They work together and collaborate on a lot of ideas. That's why in the animation for Burst, you see a lot more gimmicky stadiums throughout that point in time. That's why, for an example, you see drivers like Hybrid, the High drivers, some stadium gimmicks and concepts. They collaborate on ideas constantly. The only reason why Hasbro is probably doing the base properly now is because if you look at across the board for Hasbro's properties, be honest now, Marvel, Star Wars, big brands, but they're not going to sell as much as Beyblade will. And I say this not being overconfident, but price point matters quite a bit. Beyblade is easily accessible compared to the other stuff. There is a competition aspect. So other than maybe something like Magic the Gathering, I don't play that stuff, so I don't know. Or like Wizards or maybe those are both the same thing. I don't know. But Beyblade's a property is going to make them a lot of money. So to them, it's like, yeah, maybe we should do it the exact same. It just makes sense. It just makes sense for them to do that. So, I apologize for this tangent, man. I apologize. You also trash on TT2. Yeah, exactly. Even, will you be reading the bucket? Yes. No matter what, if it's good or if it's bad. Oh, even on the other channel, I'm doing a review of the stupid, the accessories, the new ones. Even though it's like, there's not much to say, I still did the thing. Hasbro launchers look pretty low budget compared to TT. Well, actually, the Hasbro launchers, okay, this is a funny thing. They're all the entry launchers. That comes from the BX22, I think it's 22, the Drawn Sword. Those launchers definitely are worse than the regular winder, for sure. But that's just because of the price point that they're trying to do for accessibility. They started the winder launcher separately. I think technically, if you do the math, if you buy a winder launcher and I think like a starter, I think you get a similar price to what you get for the Japanese, I think. I don't know. But yeah. I apologize for the tangent. Transformers as well. But no, I know they're doing a Marvel, Star Wars, and a Transformers collaboration product, but isn't it just a Marvel? Is there a Transformers battle set? Will TT release any more entry starters? Maybe in December of this year. Maybe. We're really far away. Maybe. I'm just trying to think. I lost my point in where. But yeah. I want to make sure, our discussion is kind of fair. Like, again, give credit to Hasbro and give respect where it's due. At the very least, this stuff is neat. But I just want to make sure, we're like... You know what I mean? We're fair on both ends. We're not bullshitting one side or the other, Because I'm opening this on an open mind. I'm happy that we're on an even playing field, basically. So the Japanese launcher legal for competitive, okay, the Hasbro has the same winder as the TT one, it's just sold separately. So it would be legal technically. Yes, of course, yes. If you already have a TT one, then you don't have to get the Hasbro, the winder by itself. That'd be silly. Okay, so in terms of anything else, I'm not too sure. We've been going on for quite a bit, I think. So obviously, again, huge shout out to a lot of people here. I do want to throw this out here, get some project announcement stuff, which I'm setting up. One of them is going to be a tweet after this, but the other one I'm still setting up. 2 big projects. Okay, and after we'll recap Anime North before I end off and my other events shit. Okay. Obviously I put the credits there, but looking for thumbnail artists. So if you know anyone who is a very good artist who's taking commissions, I'm interested in trying to find people. I have to be careful how you phrase it on Twitter because apparently some words are blacklisted. But yeah, that's just for the example there. I'm going to make a post after this, but this is just like the general style that I'm kind of looking for. So if, let's say you're an artist watching right now and you're interested, or if you know someone, or if you want to share with someone, please let me know because I'm trying to figure out stuff because there's a lot of video projects where I would very much like pretty cool art with it. Obviously, ethically drawn, all that stuff, whatever. So trying to actually find artists, it takes time, but I would love to do that. So yes. Now the next one is a pretty fun one, which this one is going to take a little bit longer to do, but this is the thing I was talking about. Okay, now I want a drum roll in the comments. Alrighty, drum roll, please. I want a drum roll emote in the comments. I will be announcing now a big project I will be starting. The reason why I'm not doing the big history stuff and I'm taking a break from that type of stuff, because one, the database is done. I want to kind of focus more on that type of content, but also because they take a really long time to do. I will be doing a pretty cool type of content, which, reveal it on the screen, Zankye, me. Well, I will be doing a Beyblade manga. It's going to be basically kind of like, how do you describe it? Like those manga edit videos where like they animates the panels, like visual effects, but also have like dubbing to the scenes. So I actually did this as a test. I had a good friend of mine actually help out with this for dubbing. But on the Zankye Gaming channel, which let me try to find this right now. Okay, I almost played the audio by accident because I forgot this thing. Okay. But on the Zankye Gaming channel, I did already do an edit of that, so if you know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for Part 8, I think a little bit of spoilers there, but I did do a pretty cool edit of that type of stuff. I think the content would probably be pretty short form, but it would be like a lot of actual editing work. So for this one, I did think Twitter, but I'm going to be probably setting up a casting call club. What that basically is, it's just an organized way for people to go through auditions and whatever. So that's going to take like another hour to probably set up, but probably both will be tonight. If not, one will be tonight and one will be tomorrow, but it's going to be super, super fun. I want to really diverse the content on the channel, not just doing Beyblade stuff, but doing stuff I legitimately have a passion for. So, yeah, check it out. Like a comic dub? Kind of. Go see the link for the example to get an idea of kind of what I did. I put a link in the chat. You can see after for an idea. Which, by the way, if I'm going to probably do more of that on other actual animes or mangas, whatever, I'm probably going to have to make a separate channel for that. I only left it on the gaming one just because I didn't want to make another one. But that's going to be a pretty big one. Very excited for that one. So yes. Hey, we're going on pretty long. I did not realize that. Okay. I'm here now. Oh wait, let me actually go back on the normal image. So yeah, aside from that, I'll be setting up some posts, whatever, tonight. I think we covered a lot of topics as is. If you want to check out the testing channel, we have the 2 tournaments up and the Beyblade X database set up. If you want to learn more about Beyblade X, go to bxdb.com, which if I have to legally change it, I will be changing legally. I don't even know what I'm saying. Legally change it. I will work through that. Please, I don't think they would hit it. It's just a fan sub. But you want to learn about Beyblade X, check it out. And Anime North. On the WBO page, I'll try to do a pinned comment after this, but we have 3 different events for 3 days. If you're going to be coming to Toronto, make sure to obviously get your passes or whatever Anime North has, and sign up for the events through Challenge. Please, please, please. Make sure to do so. Make sure to do so. Okay, aside from that, any other updates for this week? I'm trying to think. Before we wrap up, what else is there going to be? End of this week? This week. Is that right to say? Next week is my my birthday, so no live. I want to live. So you'll probably see the news video in the morning because I have to. But you'll get like a fun video. I'm going to do like it's on a Sunday. So there'll be 2 uploads on the Sunday. It'll probably be like... probably some cross-gen shit or whatever. I don't know, something fun. But, yeah. Trying to think what else is there. Yeah, this week's just going to be UX content. And then after the following week after that, probably you'll see more other gen stuff, whatever, and other topics. Just UX is... probably the whole month's going to be. I'm not going to be honest. Whole month's probably going to be UX. Because keep in mind, the Rex and the Trigger S, they both release end of April. End of April, yeah? April 27th, I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be very, very rough to do. Where's the Bay history? What do you mean? On the channel, there's a playlist. Oh, wait. When's the next one, or where's the playlist? Oh, where's the play? If you go on the main page, it's... where is it? Oh. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom of the page. It's at the bottom of the page. If you mean where is it on the playlist, at the bottom of the page. There you go. Okay, yeah, aside from that, yeah, I think we had a pretty good live show today. Huge shout out to all the donations, by the way. You don't have to donate, by the way. If you like it, you comment. It's this, I take the same support either way, but yes. Yes, I have a lot of fun content plans for this week, but that's going to be where we're going to be ending off this live show. We went for a full hour, so I wanted to make sure at least we got all the combo we needed to. So take care, everyone. Have a fantastic Sunday. Take care, and that will be it for now. Hopefully we get some, I don't know, maybe some Hasbro news next week or something. Oh, also, potentially we'll try to get a Zankcast this week with Nizuma. If not, it'll just be the following week. I don't know, just if it depends how screwed my schedule is. But take care and bye.